Your first session with your therapist might be a little bit anxiety-inducing if you don't know what to expect, what you're supposed to say, or what you're supposed to ask. But there are a few things across the board that you should expect to help you reduce a little bit of that anxiety. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Therapy Explained. My name is Deniss, and I'm your very own personal mental health cheerleader. I post videos about all things mental health because I believe that mental health information should be free and accessible to everyone. And of course, I also believe in you. If you're a big fan of helping your own mental health, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and help spread the word by sharing this video. Every video also comes with its own cheat sheet that I make available to you on Instagram, so make sure that you're following me there at Talk Therapy. Today's video is going to be about what to expect during your first session, so let's just go ahead and jump right to it. Your first few sessions are known as the assessment period. So the standard is one 15-minute session in order for your therapist to gather information about your past and current symptoms. But depending on the type of therapist and the type of therapy that you are doing, this could range anywhere from 1 session to 3 sessions, or 50 minutes up to 90 minutes per session. So it is important that you reach out to your therapist if you are wondering if there is that change. Your therapist in general will let you know if it is going to be more than just the regular 50 minutes and if the assessment period will last more than just 1 session. One thing that will happen across the board, no matter what therapist and what therapy you are doing, is that during the first session, your therapist will review all the paperwork that you signed for them. This includes practice policies like cancellation policies, payments, but also you giving consent for treatment. So talking about confidentiality, talking about the relationship that is going to be formed, the therapy and client relationship, and then you just knowing all the safety precautions and limitations to confidentiality. So all that will be reviewed with you during your first session, regardless of the therapist that you might be doing, because we are legally and ethically required to do so. Your therapist might also have you fill out a few questions right before your first session as well. And that can be about your current and past symptoms, and your therapist might review that with you during the first session. In general, your therapist is trying to gather information about you in order to form a treatment plan and to give you a diagnosis. So your therapist will ask you questions about your current symptoms, the history of those symptoms, as well as your family dynamics, what your life looks like right now. Is it work? Is it school? What does your support system look like? What are your hobbies? And again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to assess, what does your life look like now? Where are the strengths that we can draw from to help you make the progress that you are looking for, but then also certain areas that could use a little bit of love and a little bit of help to, again, continue to support you towards the goals that you have expressed you want. They will probably also gather history about you, like family history, medical history, any legal history, your developmental history, what it was like for you growing up. And again, this will give us information about your patterns, cycles, and behaviors as far as how long they've been there, and what again can be helpful for us as we're trying to continue to support you throughout your treatment. And as you heard me say, what your goals are. That's also something that we're trying to figure out. What do you want out of therapy, and what do you want to focus on, so that we have a better idea of what interventions to share with you. If you ever have any questions about why are you asking me this particular thing, you can also always ask your therapist. In general, therapists are very receptive to questions, comments, and feedback, so don't be afraid to do that even during the assessment process. As you can tell, your first session and probably up to your third session will not feel too much like therapy. If you are going to a psychoanalytical therapist that isn't a particular modality, you might notice that you won't be doing too much processing. You'll probably just be answering questions and giving information. There might be some processing, but during the first session you probably also will not be getting any interventions. This again is because we're just assessing. We're trying to figure out your world, your patterns, your habits, so that then as we continue to work together based on what you said you wanted to accomplish in therapy, we can start saying, hey, this is what I'm thinking, what about this, do you think this can help? Because we can't start giving you interventions if we don't know anything about you, your patterns, your history, or your symptoms. So that's really the reason for asking all of these questions in the beginning. We're trying to be as prepared as we can to help you in the best way that we can. So let's review before we go. The first few sessions are known as the assessment period. They can last anywhere from 1 50-minute to 90-minute session, and anywhere from just 1 session to 3 sessions. Second, your assessment period will also include going over all the paperwork that you signed for your therapist. This will probably happen during your first session, and you'll also review what the practice policies are. Your therapist might also be asking you questions about your history, your personal history, your symptom history, as well as your relationship history. So we'll go over a lot of things. The reason that we ask so many questions is because we want to get to know you the best way that we can to help you in the best way that we can. And as you notice, because we're going through all of this, we're probably not going to be giving you interventions or facilitating any processing. And again, this is because we want to get to know you first before just throwing things at you that might not be helpful. I really do hope that this information has helped you reduce a little bit of anxiety about your initial therapy session and during the assessment process. But remember, as always, therapists tend to be really receptive to questions, comments, and concerns. So don't be afraid to ask. Why are you asking me this? How long will this take? What should I expect? It's okay to do that. We have no problem answering. If there is anything that has helped you during your previous assessment process or current assessment process, please make sure to comment below and let us know. Remember that we are a community and we're constantly learning from each other, so let us learn from you. Your cheat sheet is already available for you on Instagram, so hop on over there to get it. But before you do, please give this video some love in any way that feels authentic to you. Every like, comment, share, and subscribe helps spread the word, helps spread access to free mental health information and education. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, I'm always cheering for you. Therapy Explained is now offering workshops. Every workshop will help you develop tangible coping tools during the workshop itself. It comes with a workbook that has the contents of the topic that is being covered, as well as some journal prompts to help you continue the work that we start together. And there is also a question and answer portion at the end of the live workshops. Alternatively, the workshops are also available to you online so that you can access them whenever is most convenient for you. Go ahead and check it out at therapyexplained.org/workshops.